Hello, Flosstube. I'm going to see if I can get this right. I am Elizabeth Martinez, phantastitches, and this is Flosstube episode number 100. Ooh, 100. Today is Saturday, January 18th. And this is a channel about cross stitch. So, yeah. So I'm going to talk about a couple of whips and some other things, and it should be a relatively short video this time. So, gosh, let's see. Since last week, I do have a not quite finish, a semi-finish, and some stitching I can't talk about, and a little bit of tiny bit of haul, and so forth. So, okay, I will start with. What I've been working on this past week. Sorry, I've been fussing around here so much, but primarily I've been doing some model stitching, and I can't really show. I've been working on this off and on since Christmas, and since Christmas ended. Some before Christmas, and some since Christmas ended, and all that. So, and I was working on it quite a bit this week, but I got kind of, not exactly tired of it, but just, you know, the section I was on was kind of tedious, and so, I worked on it for a while, and I set it aside. And because part of it is that I can't share it, and I was trying to get it done so that I can share it, and but anyway, so I think I can show. Let me see if I can get this a little bit. There, Santa's hat. It is a Santa design. This is one I've talked about before, called 10 Minutes to Midnight. And that's about all I can show you right now. But it's coming along. It's I want to say almost done. There's a little bit of back stitching, and but still some stitching to do, and the pattern my sister drew this picture, and converted it to cross stitch, and there's a lot of French knots that are called for in the design, but I'm going to do colonial knots because I'm better at colonial knots than French knots. My abilities with French knots has remained inconsistent. But anyway, there's a window, and there's snow falling, and so the snowflakes falling in the window are French knots. And yeah, so I'm not going to do that many French knots. I'm going to do colonial knots. Anyway, so that's one of the main things I've been working on this week. And the other thing I was working on, I have a sort of pseudo finish, not quite finished, because I still have beadwork to do, but all the regular stitching is done. And I shared this on my online, on Facebook and possibly Instagram. I don't know. Sorry, let me get this. I didn't take anything out beforehand, so I have. Oh. That's why I'm fussing around in bags of stuff. Sorry, I can't get this out for some reason. There. Something, and now something is tickling my neck. So I have this Just Nan little Hedgie, little hedgehog pattern. I have all of the regular stitching done. I just have beading to do. and then I have to FFO it. So last time I didn't have this vertical brown color going up here. I had done the darker color, darker gray, and the horizontal gray. And so in those blank spots that are there, it calls for beads. So the kit came with beads, and there's some, and it also came with some pins and everything that go in it when it's. Ooh, there's a hair in there. When it's put together and stuffed and everything. And there's a little coin that the hedgehog sits on. And doggone it, I can't. There's a big old hair on here, and I cannot grab there. Sorry. And so I did the black. That's his nose and some crosses for his eyes. And then I backstitched this stitching across here. That's the edge of the shape of the body. So all I need to do is I need to find my beading needle. I have a beading needle. Anyway, I think I know where it is. I just have to get at it. But anyway, so all these little blank spaces in here are black beads, and that, like I said, the kit came with the beads and stuff that go. The beads and some needles that go in it, and some other things. There's a little baggie that has the beads and has some pins, and this little coin that turn it this way. A little coin thing that the hedgehog sits on, and this little plastic leaf that you attach. So, yeah, so that's almost done. And this one I've been doing just for my own pleasure. You know, it's not a gift like all the ones I was doing at Christmas are. And then the one I was working on the last couple of days was my Prairie Schooler Blackwork Angels. Last week I had shown this one here, where this angel is playing the harp. You can't really see that, but I had done this one. I finished it, and so I started on. So I can find it now. This one here, where the angel is playing has these doves. So I have a sort of pain in the neck saga about this particular angel. So this is the one that I completed, the one playing the angel playing the harp, which is very lovely. And these are the two. This one goes this way. No, this way, so you can actually read it. Joy. And this one with the little sheep. And this one with the angel playing the harp. All very lovely. With the black stars that I decided to do because I made a mistake with the first one. Anyway, so I had started on this one, and I had started on the wing. So I finished the wing, the angel's wing, and when I was finishing it, I had already done. I finished the wing, and all the stuff in the corner, right? And so I started on the angel's hair and face, and I counted down from here, but I was starting here on this part of the angel's hair on the lower right above my fingernail, the lower corner of these 3 rows right here. This one, a 3rd row in. So I was counting down though from up here. I thought, okay, this is right. But what I didn't count for was I had it off one stitch. So it was all, so I didn't figure it out though until I had done all of the hair and the face. And see these two little tiny, they're little one single stitch each, I think, or maybe two on one side. But so I had done all of this hair and the face, and I got back and went to do the neck. I had done this one, and I went to do this one, and it didn't match up. So I ended up taking it all out and redoing it so that it matched up. And part of my problem is, might just be me, is this diagonal stitching that I tend to make mistakes in, because, if I was doing this on Aida cloth, it would be much easier because it would be much easier to see where the holes are, because you're not like, having to split any squares or anything like that. It would just be, I think it would just be the regular holes that you find in Aida cloth. It would just be easier to see the diagonal, to where you put your needle in, because it, But anyway, but counting these, for some reason, part of it is that the thickness of the thread, obscures whatever hole it's in, or whatever hole it covers. And so it's just easy when you're, counting with even weave, you're counting, basically looking at 9 squares and using the outer ones, right? But so anyway, it's easy to make a mistake here. For me, it's easy for me. So anyway, I had miscalculated where her hair went. So anyway, I redid this part, and then I started down here, and I started down here, and I had, you can't really see it here, but I had see what this gap is here. The one dove goes in here, and I had done the whole dove. I had started it. As a matter of fact, if you go back and were to look on the Friday Off the Grid group, I had posted a picture there saying, "Oh, this is what I'm working on tonight," on Friday night, and I had the beginnings of this dove that goes here, and so I did it, and I completed the whole dove. And there's like part of the outline here, just like this, down here, right? So I had done the dove, and I had done the outline, and the dove is holding a little branch. And I had done all of that. And then I went to do this part of the dress, the next part I was going to do. And I got all the way down here, and it was off by like half a stitch, and I knew there was something wrong in there, because I was trying to match up, and something wasn't right, and I was trying to fudge it, just like, I thought, okay, this is off by one, but I think it's just this section. And so I had a sneaking suspicion about this border when I was doing it, and then when I went to do this dress, things were not matching up. And sure enough, I got all the way down to here, and the little border was like half a stitch off, or something, down here, instead of even with here, the way it's supposed to be. So yeah, I was kind of miffed, and I pulled it all out, and I pulled it all out again, and I decided to work on the gown, dress, whatever instead. I want to show you a little bit. I know you're not supposed to show the pattern, and I don't want to show the pattern, but this little dove was what I was working on. And I had done, this is my working copy of this, but so I had done the whole dove. I had done this section and everything. I had not done this border, but I had done all this little thing in the dove's mouth and the border, and it was right here that I realized they don't match up. And I had fudged a couple of little tiny places, but I thought, they're just little tiny things that are, not quite right. But, you know how you use one thing to count, to count off of to do the next one. Well, yeah, that was wrong. So I had to pull all of that out, and I did it late last night. It was like, the wee hours of last night when I realized it was wrong, and I pulled it all out. So yeah, I got kind of mad at it, and so I didn't redo it yet. I'm doing this part of the angel's dress instead because it's just easier. It's just straight stitching up and down, and right here where the gap is gonna be her belt thing that hangs down there. Yeah. So that's the saga of the Blackwork Angel. I had difficulty before with those diagonal squares on the wings with the other angels that I did, but I had never done so much unstitching before. Anyway, so those are the things I stitched on this past week, just those three. And then I had a little bit of haul during the week. I think I don't know if it was Wednesday or Tuesday. No, I don't know when it was. Maybe it was Sunday. I don't know. My younger sister was wanting to go to Tempe Yarn and Fiber. She's into knitting and crocheting, and right now she's doing a lot of spinning her own yarn. Well, that yarn that I used, the yarn that I used to finish the giant snowman, that ecru colored, kind of natural colored yarn, was one of her first, spinning attempts, and when she was first learning how to spin. And so that's why she has, she has this yarn that she's not using for anything because it's kind of, she was just learning how to spin it. So anyway, she's into all of that. So she was going to go to Tempe Yarn and Fiber, and she asked me if I wanted to go along. And my older sister said, I want to go to Tempe Yarn and Fiber. So the three of us went. And I'm not really into, yarn and knitting and all that, but there's a few things that they have there that I like. And one of the things that I bought was this little, they're called Nitty Kitty bags. But, so this one has cats all over it with balls of yarn and so forth. It's very cute. And they have all kinds of little notion pouches kind of like this. They have some that have those metal snap tops, and then they have zipper pouches at different sizes and stuff. But most of them are very sort of knitting related, or they had some really neat llama ones but almost of them have like a ball of yarn like this on there. But I like this kitty patterns. And then another thing I bought was a couple of charms. This is from your friends at Woolholla Tunis in Queen Creek, Arizona. So I bought these little sheep. There's a green one and a blue one. Little sheep yarns, and there's a sheep right there in this picture. Yeah, fleece with a face. It's called. It is. So yeah, I have these two charms. And then I also bought I can grab it. There. A pair of scissors that I think this is going to be part of my Smalls Exchange. I have an idea for a scissor fob, but I think I'm gonna make use of those scissors for that, I think. So I bought those. And then the other thing is that we had a little bit of sad news in our family that my younger sister's two cats, the older of her two cats, Pippin, was not doing well, and he had stopped eating and drinking and stuff, and they tried tempting him a little bit with some baby food, and he ate a little bit, but he really had stopped eating and drinking, and they took him to the vet, and he was in renal failure, and they ended up making the decision to put him to sleep, and so it was very sad. And around the same time, I think on the same day that we found out about it, we found out, let's see, Wednesday and Thursday, I think they were talking about it, and around that same time, my sister had told me, I guess last week, about a design that Teresa Kogut had done, and and so she had watched. Teresa Kogut had a Design with Me live YouTube thing, and she had talked about this. That when she had interacted with her viewers, and so that viewers could watch her design something for cross stitch, and then she said had announced that after she was finished with it, it would be available as a freebie on her blog. And so my sister had told me about it, and so on Wednesday I finally went ahead and downloaded it, and so but it's called Cat Over the Willow, and so I think this is a picture of it. This is the color block. It doesn't have symbols in it, but it's a cat jumping over the willow, and that's the top part of it, and the bottom part is a little farm. This is the bottom of the. This is the bottom of the willow tree. You see the leaves and some of the stars there, and then there's like a farmhouse or farm scene there. Just a barn and a house. So, so I think for Pippin, I'm going to change this cat to look a little more like him. He had long hair, and he had black and white stripes. But anyway, so I think if I'm going to make this look a little bit more like him, and maybe put his name up here somewhere, and do this stitch in memory of Pippin. Yeah. So, anyway, if you go to Teresa Kogut's, if you look for, she has, I think it's Design with Me Part 2. I don't know where else she lists it, but I know for sure on that one she lists this Cat Over the Willow freebie if you're interested in that. And then, to celebrate this 100th video, my sister, Eve, designed a little design that is going to be a freebie for you, the viewers, in the description box of this video. I'm going to put a link to this PDF, and don't be alarmed if it's not there right away. I'm going to put it in when I publish this video, but if I'm not able to do it right away as I put all the information in the PDF, excuse me, I'll do it as I'll go back in and edit and put it in there. But anyway, it's a quail. It's a little quail. And like I said, this is a freebie for anybody who wants it, as in celebration of my 100th video. But there's a barrel cactus, and these little white spots have been corrected in the PDF that you can download. But there's a barrel cactus with cactus flowers on it, and there's a mama quail and some baby quails, and this is like gravel. There's we were trying to think of what would be a good design for this little freebie thing, and around that same time, we saw this little family of quail in our neighborhood, and every once in a while we see a mama and baby quails in our neighborhood. Yeah. So and barrel cactuses are pretty common out here. So yeah, there's a little mama quail and baby quails, and Arizona quail is the name of the design. But like I said, I'm gonna put this as just a link down below in the description box below, and y'all can have that. And it's 100. No, excuse me, 84 wide, and 50 like 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 56. A little less than 56, because it's maybe like 54, maybe, because it doesn't go all the way to the top. And but it's like 85-ish wide, and it's certainly not full coverage. So it's and the other thing it does, if you look at this color code thing, because it's printed in color right here, the white doesn't show up. It said, had the back stitches, it says, white, and their back stitch. I don't think that line shows up, but it does show up here. You can see it here. And the white back stitch is just like on the wings and the face, and I think a little bit. No, on the baby quail, it's this yellow line and some black, just to give them some definition. But that's the only place you have back stitching is in the quail, to give them to give their faces some definition. You can see it right there. But yeah, so let me know what you think of this design, and yeah, that's designed by my sister Eve Burge. And there's some French knots, and I don't know where they are. I don't know. I can tell I haven't really looked closely at this design yet. Maybe just... I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I don't know. I just noticed the French knot symbol, but I don't see where it would be. Nope, I don't know. Let me know if you find them. It might be on the corrected. There might be a French knot or two on the corrected version that she did. She printed this off and then did the correction afterward, I guess, after she saw the printout. So I don't know where there are French knots. I don't know. So I think that's it. I'm off to finish that work on that Blackwork angel. That I don't know. I might put it in timeout. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I have to think about that dove and see if I can figure out what I did wrong, because I was looking at it and somehow It must be in one of those in the wing somewhere that I made the mistake, because as I was pulling it out, I thought, well, maybe I'll just pull it out a certain distance, and then so I can figure out, because where it started off with the horizontal line of the first wing was correct, and I think the two first diagonals were correct, but somewhere in there after that, I made a mistake, and I don't know where I made it, but something was wrong. So I'm eventually gonna start that over again, but not right now. Right now, I'm just gonna do the skirt of the angel, because that's very easy. It's just regular square stitches. Yeah. Um. But yeah. So like I said, for that my 100th episode, um, that little freebie is gonna be in the description box below, and have at it. And so I think that's it. Um, yeah, that's it. That's it. That's all. So again, my name is Elizabeth Martinez, phantastitches, and the you can find me on in the Friday Off the Grid group, and Stitching with the Housewives group as Elizabeth Martinez, and on Instagram as Fantagray, and my Gmail is fantagray at gmail.com, and that's going to all be in the description box below. And so thank you for watching, and I will see you next week. Bye.